Sir, at the outset, I would like to ask the Honourable Minister that whether his ministry is a coordinating ministry or an implementing ministry. My second question is that why has this government suspended NEIIP, which you have suspended registration of all new schemes, thereby hampering the business potential of the Northeast? My third question to the Honourable Minister, sir, is about in NLCPR. Between 98, 99 and 12 and 13, 23,211 crores had been accrued in the NLCPR, out of which only 10,412 crores was utilized. Will the government allow the remaining 11,000 crores to be utilized? My fourth question to the Honourable Minister through you, sir. If you see, sir, in the last few years, the actual expenditure in NLCPR has been lower than the budget estimates. For example, in 13-14, 112 projects were sanctioned. Cost of project was 1,583 crores, and funds released were only 619 crores. I can go on and go on, but these are the figures which I am quoting to the Honourable Minister. My fifth question to the Honourable Minister through you, sir, is that in the delays in implementing projects in NLCPR, if you see Assam, 32 projects are pending for 1 year, 583 projects are pending from last 5 years, and more than 5 years, 61 projects. So 176 projects are pending. And because of the delayed project, the cost of delayed project in Assam now has gone up to 1,341 crores. Now, I know that you have come to government in 2 years, but there are a list of projects which are pending. 49 projects are pending from last 5 years in Arunachal Pradesh. You come to Manipur, 54, Meghalaya, 35, Mizoram, 33, Sikkim, 29, Tripura, 25. So there are a huge number of projects in Northeast states, the highest being in Assam and then Arunachal Pradesh. And may I request the Honourable Minister that is he willing to examine that the state governments do not have the capacity to really make all those investigation reports, which leads to cost of escalation of projects and delay. So I know the government has said that we have simplified the procedure, but can more be done to ensure that these projects, they are taken off from the ground and something worthwhile is done? When it comes to expenditure priorities of Northeast NEC, sir, we see that there are many youths from Northeast because of lack of premium education institutes are not there. To further the education prospects, there's a migration. But what is this government going to do, apart from one IIT, one IIM is there, to establish more universities? And this focus only on transport, communication, power, renewable energy is not going to help. It is good, I say, but more needs to be done on the education field. Will this government focus more on education to ensure that these funds are utilized? And my last point to you, the last question to the Honourable Minister, sir, the river projects in Northeast. China has started Zangmu hydropower. We know that under this doctrine of prior appropriation, the first use of water will accrue to China. We have awarded 14 hydropower projects. Out of that, only one has cleared the environment clearance. Now, sir, if from 2008 to 2010, 25 projects were put on bidding block. Out of that, only 14 were given clearance by Central Electricity Authority. It went to CWC. CWC only gave financial closure to one. By that time, you run out of the money. Now, what are we going to do to protect our rights? Because China is hell-bent on creating that Zangmo project. So, what steps is this government going to take? And my last point, the last seventh question to the minister is the de-voters. In Assam, you have 1,36,448 de-voters. And surprisingly, sir, 62% are women. This government has decided to give citizenship to all the Hindus who are there. Now, the remaining Muslims, their names are reflected in 1951 NRC. Why this disparity? Why this dual application is there? So, and 62% are women. So, would you ensure that this Foreign Tribunal Act of Section 4, anyone who doesn't appear in front of them, ex-party judgment is given? Will the central government take a definite look into it and to ensure that these 136,448 cases are dealt with quickly and clearly? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable members, those who wants to lay their written speeches on the table, they can do so. It will be treated as a part of the proceedings. Now, honorable members, Sri P.D. Rai.
Thank you, sir. So I rise to speak on the demand for grants 2016-17, Ministry of Development of the Northeast region. So we have heard many members today across the board, and it's already more than 3.5 hours. And the sense that prevails in the discussions that have ensued is that the potential of the Ministry of Donor has not fulfilled the aspiration or the vision which our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Vajpayee ji had when this particular ministry was formed in 2001. Now, there are just 3 more years left in this term to realize that particular potential. And that potential really has been articulated by members from all sides of this House. And so therefore, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, this impetus for looking at the Northeast from different perspectives, especially from the development perspective, is right now on. But let us look at just one issue which kind of will tell us what is the real difference, sir. Say, for instance, today there are floods in Assam. There are landslides happening in different parts of the Northeast because of torrential rain that is happening out there. And the rest of the country reeling under 40 degrees plus, and we are having to actually have a train which carries water from a different part of the country to a place like Latur, if I'm not mistaken. What will it then take, Chairman Sir, for the Northeast to be actually delivering the water from which is in excess to the rest of the country? This is just a point that I'm saying. Not that it will get done, but perhaps the difference is so stark. The Northeast is blessed with a lot of water. But if your railway lines, if your communication, if your road networks, if your pipelines do not exist, how will that really happen? But this is just to show you that there is this particular difference. Now, there is another thing which we must credit this particular government, I mean the NDA government, with, and that is the reduction in the kind of atrocities that have plagued New Delhi for the Northeastern students and the Northeastern community in general. And I think steps have been taken both by the Delhi government as well as the Home Ministry, and especially where Kiran Rijiju is already there from the Northeast. So this matter has actually, it has not been reflected in this particular House today, and shows that there has been a substantial decrease in that. And we do hope that the mechanisms that have been set up will actually fructify. But let me get on with the task of actually stating that the Department of the Ministry of Development of the Northeast region, DONA, as I have already started saying that it has perhaps not realized its potential, can be seen from the fact that we have
Please conclude.
Sir, I've just started.
No, just reply will be there. We have to finish.
So
it.
just started. Not even. I had marked the watch, sir. It's not even 3 minutes.
5 minutes we have.
So maybe 2 minutes more. I'll conclude in 2 minutes. So organic state, sir. So, as many of the previous speakers have already said, that the amount that has been given or allocated to both the ministry in general as well as to the NEC is very, very poor. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we have been talking about this, and especially a note had been also given, a presentation had been given to the Honorable Prime Minister from the Northeast MPs Forum, in which we had actually articulated how is it possible to now raise the level of development or accelerate that to a level that we will be able to achieve visible and credible progress within the next 3 years. So this is today, I think, at the crux of the matter today is how are we going to reach that. Some of the mentions made by different colleagues here in this house are there, but I'll just like to touch on one or two of them. One is the issue related to bamboo. Now, bamboo is such an important resource. It's a renewable resource. It is also a resource which the carbon sequestration is the highest, and we are able to utilize that for a variety of purposes. It is well known, but we are not able to do that for the simple reason that the Ministry of Environment and Forest will not remove it from the Act. It has to be changed from a tree. Its definition has to be changed from a tree to a grass. And I would request the Honorable Minister, through you, sir, that you need to do that. And finally, sir, let me just make one other point, which is related to DONA, which is related to organic farming. Organic farming, Sikkim today, across the board, Sikkim has already got the branding, and thanks to the Prime Minister who came on the 18th of January this year to celebrate with us the the declaration of Sikkim as an organic state. This has been received with great interest, both right across the Northeast. And I think the donor ministry can do a lot by way of supporting this venture. Thank you very much, sir.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, मैं इस ग्रांट के समर्थन में 2 शब्द बोलने के लिए खड़ा हूँ। मैं असम डिब्रूगढ़ लोकसभा क्षेत्र से आता हूँ। हमारी भारत के प्रधानमंत्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी ने 2001 में एक डोनर डिपार्टमेंट बनाए थे, और उन्होंने सोचा था कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट के डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो रहे हैं, इसलिए नॉर्थ ईस्ट को डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए, इसलिए डोनर डिपार्टमेंट बनाया गया। और अभी हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी नॉर्थ ईस्ट के ऊपर बहुत ध्यान दे रहे हैं। हमारे साथी कामाख्या तासा ने कहा जे हर एक मिनिस्टर को कहा गया है कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जाना चाहिए, और हर एक मिनिस्टर जा रहे हैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट, और नॉर्थ ईस्ट की समस्या समझ रहे हैं, और वो समस्या को कैसे समाधान किया जाए उसके ऊपर भी पूरा ध्यान दिया रहा है। कुछ दिन पहले हमारे हेल्थ मिनिस्टर नड्डा जी गए थे, और उन्होंने महसूस किया कि आसाम के जो नौजवान हैं पढ़ने में बहुत होनहार है, लेकिन मेडिकल सीट पाने में बहुत मुश्किल होती है, इसलिए 3 मेडिकल कॉलेज की घोषणा की गई। आप लोगों को बताना चाहते हूँ, सदन को बताना हूँ, सारा भारत को बताना चाहता हूँ। उसी तरह मोदी जी ने असम या नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लोगों को ज़्यादा दिल्ली एम्स में ना आना पड़े, इसलिए एम्स जैसे एक हॉस्पिटल गुवाहाटी में करने के भी सिद्धांत लिए गए हैं, और खूब जल्द उनका भी शिलान्यास होंगे। उसी तरह भारत स्वाधीन होने के 60 साल हो गए, लेकिन 60 साल में ब्रह्मपुत्र के ऊपर 60 साल में कांग्रेस ने 5 ब्रिज बनाए और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा है कि हम 5 साल में 5 ब्रिज बनाएंगे और उनका घोषणा कर दी गई है। इसलिए बहुत ध्यान दिया गया है नॉर्थ ईस्ट के बारे में। इसलिए पहले की सरकार, जब कांग्रेस की सरकार 10 साल की थी, तब मनमोहन सिंह जी असम से राज्यसभा के सदस्य बन के आए थे और भारत के प्रधानमंत्री बने थे। और हम लोग भी बहुत आशा करते थे कि असम से मनमोहन जी आए हैं, असम को बहुत कुछ मिलेंगे, लेकिन कुछ मिला नहीं।
10 साल में
कुछ नहीं मिला। आप सोचिए, जब हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी 4 लेन की शुरुआत की थी और वो 4 लेन हमारे असम में शुरुआत की थी, लेकिन मेरा जो क्षेत्र है डिब्रूगढ़, हम लोग भी आशा रखते थे कि मनमोहन सिंह जी भारत के प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं और डिब्रूगढ़ तक 4 लेन जाएगी, कि 10 साल में 4 लेन का काम स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ। लेकिन अभी हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने प्रयास किया और नितिन गडकरी जी ने कुछ दिन पहले ये 4 लेन डिब्रूगढ़ तक शुरुआत की है।
पहले बार नॉर्थ ईस्ट में बोलो।
अभी हमारे नितिन गडकरी जी कुछ दिन पहले गए थे और असम में कम से कम 3-4 रास्ता को नेशनल हाईवे में डाइवर्ट करने के लिए घोषणा किए गए। और नॉर्थ ईस्ट के जो रोड है, रास्ता, उनकी हालत बहुत खराब है। ये समझ के हमारे नितिन गडकरी जी ने नॉर्थ ईस्ट एक कॉर्पोरेशन बनाया कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट के जो रास्ता है उनका हालत बहुत खराब है, इसको डेवलप करना चाहिए। इसमें 33 करोड़ रुपया दिया गया है। इस तरह से ध्यान दिया गया है नॉर्थ ईस्ट को। ये बात मैं बताना चाहता हूं, मोदी जी ने बहुत ध्यान दिया है। ये सब बात अगर बोलना बहुत समय लगेगा, लेकिन मैं ज्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहता हूं। मंत्री जी भी उत्तर देंगे और हमारे डोनर मंत्री जितेंद्र सिंह भी बहुत बार गए हैं असम। तो मैं जितेंद्र सिंह से एक अनुरोध करता हूं, मेरा डिब्रूगढ़ लोकसभा क्षेत्र में एक जगह है डिबगोई, जो हमारे बदरुद्दीन साहब बोल रहे थे, डिबगोई में एक रिफाइनरी है, डिबगोई रिफाइनरी। उस विधानसभा क्षेत्र में पानी की बहुत असुविधा है और वहाँ के एक प्रोजेक्ट बहुत दिन से हमारे डोनर डिपार्टमेंट में पड़े हुए हैं, उसकी सैंक्शन कर दी है। इसके मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ। और एक मैं अरुणाचल के बात बोलना चाहता हूँ। अरुणाचल में लोहित डिस्ट्रिक्ट में परशुराम कुंड बोल के एक जगह है, जो सारे वर्ल्ड के हमारे हिंदू लोग वहाँ स्नान करने जाते हैं मकर संक्रांति में। और मैं डोनर डिपार्टमेंट से अनुरोध करता हूँ कि उस स्थान को डेवलप करने के लिए डोनर डिपार्टमेंट से कुछ फंड की व्यवस्था किया जाए। ये मैं आपसे अनुरोध करता हूँ और ज्यादा नहीं बोलूँ।
थैंक यू।
बोलकर अपना वक्तव्य समाप्त करता हूं।
पटेल।